sing it something like this. Listen here. Oh, beautiful, far spacious skies, far amber waves of grain, far purple mountain majesties, over the fruited plain. But now wait a minute, I'm talking about America, sweet America. You know, God done shed his grace on thee. He crowned thy good. Yes, he did. Every brotherhood from sea to shining sea. You know, I wish I had somebody to help me sing this. America, I love you, America. You see, my God, he done shed his face on thee. You ought to love him for it, because he crowned my good. He told me he would. Every brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, Lord, I thank you, Lord.
You think people are really gonna watch this,
They ain't got nothing else to do.
right?
Word.
I ain't going on social media talking shit about TDS Radio. I know that much.
My man, Coach Block.
What's up, cuz? How we living?
You're rocking with TDS Radio.
Get it, Kim. All right. She got a vision, and she wants us to execute this vision.
Ooh, man. That's what TDS is about today.
Ken and Kim are the two dopest siblings that I know.
All right, man. You ready?
Am I ready? Are they ready?
Nigga.
Missed it. What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your man, Coach Block. Trying to do too much on this good post-election day. How's everybody doing? I'm here with
Your girl so fab. Hey y'all.
the other half of
We're back.
TDS. I guess we got to move closer this way because we're kind of like cut off in here. This is crazy work.
And I gotta fix my chair. And our off-screen cousin, Richard. Make sure y'all say what's up to him.
I should have plugged the other camera up just to face you. Yeah, we'll get it working. We'll get it good. I'll do that when we take a break because we have Auntie V here, and also James will be with us, our therapist and our healing consultant, to talk about today's events because shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Well, first let's do our routine.
I was about to say, let's check in first.
All right, what we checking in with?
Each other, nigga. Y'all watching. Did you share on your Facebook?
Yeah, I did. There is a whole thing here. I don't know why it ain't working. See, Kim Blocker, here we go. Let's talk about it.
That's crazy. It's not showing up. All right. Whatevs. All right. So, family, yeah, let's check in with one another. How is everyone? How's your mind? How's your spirit? How's your heart? I find it funny that I was talking to a few of my friends, and a lot of them, they just said that, their emotions are all over the place. Things are heavy, and it's just a sense of hopelessness,
Yeah. Because you got to be careful, because I got people who surf my social media platforms who I work with.
Mm-hmm.
And, we are never allowed to truly voice exactly how we feel, right?
Nah.
And because if we do, then there's always some form of punishment or some retaliation to you voicing exactly how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I don't give a damn.
Okay.
So I'm going to voice exactly how I feel. And we've discussed this ad nauseum today. And my issues and my problems are not with Black Republicans or people who are true blue Republicans. That is what we do this for. We do this for those who have those conservative views and those who have more liberal views. We do that. That's what this country ultimately was built on, our democracy.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what was on the table, though, with this election. And that was not the cards that we were dealt. We were dealt ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on multiple levels, and the ignorance was adopted by a group of people who chose, I'd rather deal with this ignorance in front of me than allow the opportunity for change.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I say the opportunity for change is because we don't know what Vice President Harris would be in that seat. We have had a glimpse of Trump. We have not had a glimpse of Vice President Harris sitting in that specific seat. Many people want to say, well, she should have done more as a vice president. And we all know, we can look through history to see that the vice president role,
it's just a role.
Yeah. And we really haven't named a vice president that you're like, nah, he was knocking shit out the park.
Well, I always tell people, what did you expect from Mike Pence? Why didn't y'all have the same smoke for him?
Right.
Where is he?
Well, he didn't. He chose not to support Trump and was very disappointed about who they put up for the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
He did not support Trump, which
speaks
huge
volumes
when your vice president does not support you. My biggest issue is just that. I was going to put the graphic up, but I don't feel like it. I'm emotionally drained. But I can actually tell you the statistics because I do have them here. And it was alarming because I woke up saying, damn, Black people let Vice President Harris down because, Black men. That's what I thought. Because I seen so many of us openly cooning and I didn't understand it. You get what I'm saying? And I erased my post because I'm like, well, let me go to the numbers because there are numbers that exist. This is emotional because I've seen so many of us coon that I'm like, well, it had to be us. Well, wrong. It was not. So Black men was 78% Vice President Harris and 20% Trump. Black women 92%, 7% Trump. Okay, so roughly 27% of us as Black people voted for Trump. All right, I'm not gonna say that's bad. 70-30, right? Okay, cool, no problem. Latin men 54% voted for Trump. Latin women 30%, 37% voted for Trump.
Oh.
So, Latin men, what's the problem? Let's talk about it. See, I think that's where we have to, if we plan on not continuing the cycle of ignorance in our presidency, we have to talk about the numbers, the data. Like I keep telling you about your job, the data, and like my job, the data tells you specifically where the problems are at.
Mm-hmm.
You can either choose to ignore the data and then you become a victim to it because the information that you need is right here.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I take from the information that we have right here. There is a problem with the connection in this election with white women who voted 52% for Trump,
Mm-hmm.
and then Latin men who voted 54% for Trump.
What was the percentage for white men?
59. Now, I don't expect that to be any different.
Yeah.
I don't.
Mm.
And some people, oh, well, Ken, why would you think that? I don't expect white men to vote for a black woman in a president's seat.
No.
I just don't expect that.
Mm-hmm.
So the 30%, 39% to 40% that she did get, I'm like, clutch my pearls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But this 47% that did vote for Kamala as white women, I'm like, okay, cool. I expected more because women's rights are on the line. How can we dismiss the fact that as a woman, I need to fight against what's on the line? So for those who may ask, one thing is about just simply abortion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. While am I super pro-abortion where I'm looking at it and saying, oh man, I'm 1,000? No, I'm not. But there are circumstances where I do say, well, it's a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It should be a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
As a father of 3 daughters, I also have a sister, cousins who are
a slew of female friends.
cousins and female friends. God forbid, we're not going to put it into existence, but let's just say one of them is raped. You are now telling me she does not have the decision to say, I do not want to carry that child. As a woman.
Or even if it comes to the fact of where she has to medically abort the child because, it could be life-threatening.
Correct.
You now have to go full term. You have to carry this child. You have to, even though it's going to possibly and potentially kill you.
Correct.
It's crazy.
Correct.
And then I'm looking at some of the, tweets that are going out where one guy actually tweeted, "Your body, my choice forever." This is the sickness that we're dealing with.
It's the mindset. That's the mindset. And so that mindset to me is extremely sickening.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see that she has received 50+% of the white women's vote,
Mm-hmm.
it then leads me to begin to ask the questions of why. Data allows you to say, well, why would you vote that way? And you as a woman know that some of the rights that you have that others have fought for, we are now going to just wipe that off the table, or at least attempt to wipe them off the table. They're not off the table, but at least attempt to wipe them off the table. What is it that you saw that caused you to say, I can't believe in Vice President Harris?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
What?
The blaring difference that I see is that she's black.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what bails some of you out is the numbers were actually pretty similar
When Hillary was
with Hillary.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 3 to 4%
Mm-hmm.
difference with Hillary. So now here's my next problem. How do you expect protection in this situation if you didn't vote for somebody who believes you should be protected? So if you happen to be a woman in this situation, you voted for someone who's against you being able to make that decision. So for all the people that we see in the world who tend to have problems with such silly shit like you shouldn't park here and your grass should be cutting, you guys shouldn't be having fun over there. You know, there's people that we tag this person with. It's the new nigga. It's called Karen. So now you Karens who don't want anybody to tell you how to do shit with yourself voted for a person who is specifically telling you and your children and your descendants past them what they can or cannot do with their body. What about Vice President Harris? Did you not connect with past her being a woman who's a mother, who's a wife, who's a professional? So all these things that women through ages have fought for, to be able to be independent, to be able to have a voice and a seat at the table. This was the opportunity to have that seat. But there was something, there was a block that couldn't allow you to fill that circle in. And we have to talk about what that block is. Because that block is a problem whenever we're starting to vote on local legislations, because that's even more important. So then now when we're not seeing representation amongst women in these power positions, what is it that it's going to take to convert a Karen? Because this is what we can say. There's people who complain about me and you right now go into the wrong housing complex. Somebody gonna be on our ass immediately. You can't be here, and there's gonna be a set of rules of why we can't be in that area, and they're gonna enforce it, right? But we're gonna dismiss this guy who plays by his own rules. It's amazing to me.
So I have two coworkers. Well, they no longer work with me, but two of them, and I know one for a fact was on social media bragging and boasting. She posted a meme that said "Daddy's home," referring to Trump. Then I have a older coworker, it's a white woman, who also was like, "Oh, I'm voting for Trump," and you know that same thing. I don't like neither, candidates, which I don't understand why you have an issue with, Vice President Harris, but she would go on, "I don't like either," but she's adamantly said that she was voting for Trump because she was like, "I feel the economy is going to be better." One thing that I feel, and this is not for all, but one thing that I feel and that I'm hearing is a lot of this stuff is being spewed at them from their husbands or a father or a male figure in their lives. And instead of them doing the actual work to research and take the time to vote for a candidate that they feel is best, because you have your own singular right to vote. It's not a family thing. This isn't a household thing where it's like, "Oh, well, because my husband is voting for Trump, I got to vote for Trump." No, you vote for who you want to. But instead of them doing the work and really sitting down and saying, now I have this ability to vote for whomever it is that I want to, because when I go to that polling place, nobody knows, my husband doesn't know. So I can make my own decision. Instead, you're going to listen to what your husband is saying. And oftentimes these are people who are either in a job where they don't feel heard, or they may have been passed up on a position by someone of color, or they feel slighted,
right? Or
they don't know enough information on their own or educate themselves to know that this had nothing to do with Biden and at all. But you want to place blame, and you're internalizing this blame, and you're going to make it, "Oh, well, this is the candidate's problem." So that's my experience from what I'm hearing from, two white women who proudly, and loudly said that they were going to vote for Trump. Now, I can't speak for all. So like I said, we are an open platform here, and I know that I have my share of, white female followers. Now, some of them are extremely liberal, but any ones that are not, and if you care to, or would like to go ahead and, tell us why, by all means. But most of the times I am seeing it's influenced by a father figure or their husband.
And that's the old adage that has gone back in time. You slept with a black man, but because daddy doesn't want you to sleep with a black man, he raped you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Oh, I love this black man, but because my family won't accept this black man or this black child, then everybody must go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll if he hangs from a tree, then well, you know, hey, you know, there's more Negroes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's upsetting because you want to think we have progressed. You want to have that to say that we've come so far, but have we though? Have we? Here's why. We've also watched a person who has disrespected every nationality besides white men and women.
Mm-hmm.
And even some of them, he's specifically name dropped people and disrespected them. But as a whole, he, make America great is not for us.
No.
He's disrespected those with disability. He's disrespected minorities. He's never held any true seat outside of, when he became president. Prior to that, he held no seat in government at all. And here you go with this woman who has literally worked her way from the bottom, step by step by step by step, and has had to do things the right way, step by step by step by step,
and ran a phenomenal campaign in less than 200 days?
Correct. And you lose to a person who does not have a third of your resume. Now, this is what we feel as black people, and I can only speak as a black person. So
my girl Annie,
she's on it. I don't want. Okay, what's her comment?
No. Well, you could have kept going, but she said, as statistics have shown, a specific demographic of women will vote against their own interests in an effort to continue to align with the male counterpart. Boom.
Yeah. So what we have saw is what we have 3 black people who are in this room. We experienced this on a local level where we've applied for a job and we've watched our white counterpart, to whom has absolutely no experience, and we've done everything that we have been asked, and we have the education and the paperwork to prove, and for some odd reason we just don't get the call back. And then we're told, you're crying, you're whining,
it's not your time,
it's not your time, just keep going, and things like this happen. We've watched this happen in front of our face. What do you tell our younger generation who believed in the process, who believed in, okay, let's make sure we do everything the right way? What do we tell our younger people, and what example has this shown them to be able to follow the policies and procedures that are placed on us or in front of us? What have you just shown us? There is a different set of rules for you if you are white and influent. You have a different set of rules because this man is on trial for serious charges. And you still can become the president of the United States. This woman was accused of doing her job so well that people got mad. You locked people up. That's my job.
And like Auntie V said, who will be here, you're not getting mad at your sheriffs. You're not getting mad at your judges. You chose to get mad at her. There's a whole entire process that these people go through before they even get in front of her. But instead, because it's a black woman, you're like, oh, well, it's your fault. You did this. And then this whole thing of like, oh, well, she never said she was black. As long as I have heard Kamala come out and speak about her identity, she always said that I am half Jamaican and half Indian. What the hell? And why does that even matter at this point?
Our homeboy Cornelius Cart asked a great question. So we are to follow rules that weren't set to benefit me or my family.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Cornelius, yes.
This is where when people say, well, why are you so mad? This is it.
Yeah.
The rage that we are feeling today is because, damn, even a person who is in position and seated in a spot to where this should be a slam dunk, even she can't make it.
Mm-mm.
God damn.
Because of trivial reasons.
Yeah.
And because of your own prejudices and, your own inner, well, not even inner, but, misogyny. Because of all of these reasons, you will not let a person who is best fit for the job to go ahead and move forward. And like our off-screen cousin said, now this was Tim Waltz and he had someone else underneath him on his ticket, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
No.
It'd be a clean sweep.
Yes. And I can't let my Latin men off the hook.
Ooh, okay. Going back to them.
Can't let you off the hook.
Okay.
Because we talk about white women, we talk about Karens.
Yeah.
Because that's we can't let them off the hook. We can't. Because 54% of you voted for this man. 54%. That's plus 12 of what it was when Biden ran. Plus 12. That is astonishing. So once again, what did you see to where you looked at this woman and said, I just can't do it? Besides the obvious. You get what I'm saying? So when we take the resumes, guys, and we put the resumes side by side and we erase the name, there's no name on the top of the resume. We're just talking about qualifications. This is a slam dunk. But then once you add that name to the top, which once again, that's something that all of us have experienced. The reason why my name is Kenneth L. Blocker
and Kimberly D. Blocker
is because Kenneth L. Blocker looked better than what my mom wanted to name me. My name was supposed to be Sincere. Crazy work, don't ask. Seneca, that's it. Seneca Sincere was the middle name. But we're not going to go with that. We're going to go with Kenneth Lee Blocker because on paper, looks like a good Irishman. Blocker. Good German. And I have fooled y'all asses on multiple occasions. Because my college education and my high school education matched with my name got me through doors that Ahmed Ibrahim couldn't get through.
Wait a minute.
The reason why I'm saying that is because he and we ended up in the same places. But he had to go a different route because his name on paper was Muslim. That's my black friend that couldn't get the same opportunities as me simply because of his name. Ahmed Ibrahim's. Kenneth Blocker. We'll take Kenneth Blocker. Then I get there. Shit.
Right.
We let him in. Well, what school did you say you went to again? Now I have to go through the checklist again. So I asked the Latin community, what the fuck? Yeah, what line are y'all in that we don't know about? Because they see you just like us. So what difference do you feel you have, or what misunderstanding do we have of our relationship as minorities to where you look past the fact that we're all in this together? It's us over ignorance. Matter of fact, that should be a t-shirt. Us over ignorance. Ignorance has an underlining cadence. I've said this multiple times before. It doesn't have a race. It doesn't have a gender. It is once it becomes contagious, ignorance just spreads like the plague. Ignorance won. Now, are we to feel sorry as citizens? This is a real question I have, and maybe you can share. Are we now to feel sorry if your descendants have issues coming to this country? Are we to feel sorry for that now?
Especially when we've worked so hard, because let's remember the dreamers. We've worked so hard to be able for you to come into this country and achieve the American dream, or what we think is the American dream. We've worked hard for that. Like Obama's presidency was based around that. And then now you're like, whatever, we'll go with Trump. What is his day one initiative?
To deport everyone who does not have their papers.
Boom.
That is actually reported. You can go to Baller Alert right now. That is the first thing that they have on there, and they have the actual.
But they're cited from.
Yeah, they
an
got it
actual-
cited
yeah.
from where it came from. I don't know specifically where. Once again, anger has prevented me from getting to that point, because at the end of the day, I just want to stop with, are we supposed to feel sorry about your plight? See, the one thing that unites us as minorities is that we know you guys are going through something and we're going through something.
Mhm.
And that going through something, whatever that something is, unites us, because we want you to have the same benefits that we have here in America. We want to see your descendants happy, because we want to be happy and we want our descendants to be happy. That's what we want, right? That's the goal. But if we vote for somebody who says clearly they want more border control and we don't want you here, how do you vote for that? Explain this to me. And that's where I have problems. Like, so then when I'm looking at the white women who are above 50%, how can you look at that and you say, okay, well, as a woman, my rights are on the line. I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, whatever, my rights are on the line. Well, you threw that off the table. Okay. As a Hispanic or Latino man, you have family members or you know of people who may be here and may not specifically have their citizenship.
Mhm.
And you know that they're going to be immediately targeted. You vote for them anyway. What am I missing?
I don't know.
What am I not understanding here? Like, you see what I'm saying? And this is where it gets fuzzy for me.
Mhm.
And now, the polls for CNN, I do think kind of, got rude, because the end, it just says other, right? Now, other it just says all races. It was 50%.
Mhm.
All right. So 50% voted for, and then you got like 47 point that voted for Trump. So what are we missing here amongst white women, Latino men, and Latino women? I just don't know. And the only thing I can do is use a platform to ask, because it's not disrespectful, but it blows my mind.
It's curiosity.
Yeah, it's truly curiosity, because it blows my mind, because I know I see people who are struggling just like me, just like you, who feel like a person who has only come from privilege has their best interest in mind. That is the amazing part to me.
And I'm not going to say what's funny, but what was amazing to me when I went to Dominican Republic for vacation this summer, and I was talking to, some of the people there was a young guy that was like, oh my goodness, you're from North Carolina. He was like, I've been trying my hardest to get to America, because he was like, I feel like the opportunities from there would be better for me. And so many people have that thought process of like, I just want to get there because the opportunities are there. I'm able to make it. And like you said, now look, from what this decision that you made, from some of the people who are here and think that it's not applicable to them or their family, look at what happens. Now that opportunity more than likely will no longer exist.
Correct. And Kirk said again, are we disappointed deep enough in our souls to use the one thing that the opposing power fears, our collective power? And the answer from this statistically is hell no. No. And that's where, like, I honestly, like I said, that's where I have the biggest issue, the biggest problem, is because I am confused at what they see for this place that we call the United States. I am. Is that a comment?
Annie says a lot of them assimilate and think they are not colored due to assimilation. I've watched it happen up close. Annie.
She's watched it happen up close. Say it.
Annie girl. There are people who truly have waited to come here legally, and Trump welcomes them with open arms. Okay.
Well, that's fair.
So anyway,
here's the thing. Here's what I don't want. Here's what I don't want
okay.
people to get mixed up. For me and for any other minority who has been on this earth, I promise you, for the majority, if you ask us, do we truly have a concern about those coming into the border, we don't in general, because at the end of the day, we have a lot of shit on our plate. And our issue is we want to usually, and this is especially Black people, we just want to see people treated fairly, because hell, that's all we fight for. We just want to see people treated fairly. How they acquire their citizenship, things like that, your average Black person does not care. We just don't, because once again, we have so much shit on our plate. We're not looking at a group of, we'll say Mexican, or a Mexican family, and we're not doing this. Why are they here? Did they get their papers? You're worried about, do I have enough money in my account for these fucking groceries in my cart? Listen. And you know that they're struggling just like you. We share that bond, unfortunately, of trying to make the American dream a reality. So we don't take that stance. So anybody that says, well, Trump cares about illegal people, Trump cares about money. That's it. Those who have and those who don't. And he only cares about those who have, so he can continue to get more for himself. This is selfish. Get what I'm saying? That's why I say I keep having a problem with the numbers and the statistics, because it's so alarming that I am sitting next to people who choose ignorance. I'm amongst people who chose ignorance. We have for years debated the particulars and the details. This tax needs to go up. This tax doesn't need to go up. This needs to happen. As Republicans and Democrats, we've had that. None of that was on the table. We're talking about fucking rights that people have fought for, civil liberties that people have fought for and have died over. That's what's on the table. That's where I have a problem.
And you know what my other problem is? When people say like, oh, well, we've been through this and we lived through it and we'll be fine. The passive aggressive people that don't really want to choose a side. That's what bothers me, because can we just all wake up for a moment? I don't know about y'all, but 2019 and on was really shitty for me. Okay. Like, it was tough. And I know, on TV, she is, in the medical field, it was tough for her, where you're sitting here watching people die. You're watching loved ones scared. You're not able to touch each other. You're not able to have any community. You're not able to kids can't go to school. Like, normality, everything just changed. It changed. People changed. Our thought process changed. Our mental changed. People are suffering from anxiety and social disorders and depression. Everything changed. So don't come at me with that dismissive of, oh, it's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay, because it wasn't okay then, and it's not going to be okay once this comes in 2025. So please miss me with that. And I hate to see people of color say things like that, because there was a young lady on my timeline, if you're watching, I hope you are, but for you to sit here and talk about, oh, well, we don't need to judge people for what they do. Baby, nobody's judging anybody. Go ahead and vote for whomever it is that you want to vote for. But what you're not going to do is be dismissive of ignorance, like you said. We're going to sit here and we're going to talk about this, because this is crazy, because human rights are on the line. On the line. And then for you to say all of this, she wrote a whole paragraph, a whole entire monologue and soliloquy to say, well, I didn't vote because I was in Europe. Bitch, what? Shut up. You didn't even vote. So how dare you try to chastise anyone, say everything's going to be okay. And, I'm tired of people arguing, because people are passionate about this. There are people who will no longer be able to get married, people who can't even go and get the proper health care that they need, people who won't be able to get resources that they so desperately need, all because you were in your feelings because you wanted to vote for somebody who tells it like it is. And it's not even applicable to you as a minority. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here? I don't know why everyone is acting like they're forgetting that time from 2019 up until now, but it was fucking hell.
Well, here's why they're forgetting it. Hell. Because he swindled his name on checks.
Which was brilliant for him.
He swindled his name on checks. And for those that don't take the time to read or educate themselves, the only thing they saw when they opened up that check was a signature that said Donald J. Trump. So then now he has savior. We have savior complex. He's going to do it again. Well,
that 1,200 couldn't have meant that much to y'all. It couldn't.
And he didn't do it in the first place. It wasn't. This was not him. It was just his rule to get his signature upon there. Which
and he knew what it would do.
yes,
Which is what exactly happened. Y'all thought that the money came from him. The fuck? Goodness. Come on. Exactly. Thank you. Like on TV saying, like I'm about to say President Obama, former President Obama said, this was Congress.
yes.
This was Congress, and this isn't the first time it has happened. Come on, people, wake up.
It was the
Wake up.
Democrats. It was the Democrats. And if you go and look at Shay Sharp in his interview with Kamala, or I hate
She
saying
explains.
that, Vice President
Mhm.
Harris, she explained exactly how those came, but then she also finished it with, he was smart enough to put his signature on it.
Thank you. That was the one thing where I was like, I got to give it to him. He knew what he was doing. He knew y'all like a motherfucking book, front to back. And he knew if I put my goddamn name on this, these ignorant folks, which is why he said I love the poorly educated. If I put my name on this here goddamn check, even though it's only $1,200, which is only $12 now, but $1,200, y'all are gonna want me in office again because that $1,200 meant so much to you that fuck your rights. Fuck all that shit. Fuck education. Fuck healthcare. Fuck any of that. $1,200. That's what I want.
What
Crazy.
did Tommy Davidson say? Them nigga apples work every
Every
goddamn
goddamn
time. He threw y'all some nigga apples and it worked. You see what I'm saying? And the other part that I have for all of our patriotic people who feel like Trump is going to put things in order, just take some time to look at what he's doing against your veterans. Just look at what he's doing. And the reason why I question the intelligence, once again, of the black or the white men, because you can't get a white man to not feel patriotic when he sees those soldiers walk down that in a parade.
I'm
man.
pretty sure they done shook your hand just
That's
so
the-
goddamn hard.
Man, when you see thank you for your service and they look you with that stern eye, knowing really they don't give a damn about you, but because you put that uniform on for just a brief second, you are an American. Just go look at what he's about to do for all their benefits and how he's about to jam all that up. So you're being a patriot. Your eagle wings are just flying as hard as heaven's angel wings,
Fuck that shit.
only to realize you're screwing over the very people who are the fabric of this society.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't. That's why I keep saying my question for those who have voted for him is what connection didn't you receive from Vice President Harris? And then when you sit down and answer that question, you're gonna have to be honest with yourself that it comes down to pretty much two things. She's a woman, she's black. Can't have that. Because in most of your homes, for those who have voted majority, y'all don't respect women yourselves. So how can I have a woman running the country and I myself, my wife doesn't have civil liberties in my home? She can't tell me what to do. That's what you look at it as. So then you clearly would have an issue with voting for this. So I would rather choose somebody that I know may deport my grandmother before I say I'll vote for this woman who at least may see how we can keep people who are here in the United States. I'd rather see my grandma shipped out of here because I just don't have the respect for a woman in this position.
So long, farewell. Peters and goodbye.
It's the wildest thing in the world. Once you do the numbers are, like I said, the numbers tell everything that you need to know. I initially woke up thinking, you niggas get on my damn nerves.
I was ready. I was like, and we got TDS today.
Because they did a great job with putting the lens on black men for Trump and blah, 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 blah. That lens was to divert. No, it was these white women, these Latino men, followed by these Latino women. Those three categories got him the presidency. And I'm talking about with a landslide. White men, black men, or white men and our black women canceled each other out because 92% of black women voted for Vice President Harris. So it's like, boom, they showed up. Once again, the 20% of you that voted for Trump that are black men, go to hell. Okay.
And the black bitches that voted for Trump too.
Yeah,
Bitch, fuck
go to
you.
hell. Because I don't know what y'all are looking at, but there are like I broke it down just a minute ago. I would vote that to 10% that are just ignorant, and then the 10% who are hardcore Republican that just I'm not doing it. I can't do it. Okay, that's the 20%. But like I said, these numbers
And on TV, do they ever discuss the people who did not vote, like those numbers? Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Okay. When they will they release those numbers? Like when will those numbers come out, or have they come out? Okay.
Those are not numbers. Those are numbers that they use internally
Mm.
to target audience.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what because anyone can pull that. That's public record.
Gotcha.
It's just,
Okay.
They just pull them to know that I vote in every election, so I get like a 90-something%.
Mm-hmm.
So they know that they don't necessarily have to target me.
Right.
But if you didn't vote midterm,
Then they're going to come for you.
then you only vote presidential. Then they go, okay, why didn't they vote midterm?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What were the issues for them?
Mhm.
They target
Is that how we get those text messages to stop? Okay.
you're registered.
Mm-hmm.
You're registered, whatever you are, Democrat, Republican, whatever.
So listen to on TV, y'all. If y'all want those text messages and phone calls to stop, you got to start voting because then they won't bother
Oh, somebody done gave me some ammunition.
you. What?
What would Kamala have done differently than Biden?
L. Smith, who are you?
No.
Okay.
Perfect answer. We won't fucking know. So you clearly are a Trumper because we won't fucking know. Maybe if you took a chance to say, I want to see what she would do differently, then maybe, just maybe, we would have got the opportunity to find out what she would have done differently. We don't know. I'm glad you asked that question because I would love to know myself. So then, once again, what would she have done
But
differently?
she also laid out her entire plan and policy, something that her counterpart did not do. So, I mean, come on.
And
Let's
even if
stop
she
that.
didn't do it, like, let's say she didn't get to it, we don't fucking know. Like, because at the end of the day, she didn't get the opportunity. She was robbed of the opportunity to perform the task. We have no idea how great she could have been. But here's what we do know. She was qualified for the job to have the opportunity, so we could have found out what she could have done. Here's also what we do know. We've seen Trump in this role. He was so terrible at it, he was not voted back into it again. See, are we forgetting this shit?
Yes, just like we're forgetting fucking COVID.
He ran again and lost. But now that's what, once again, it takes me to, and let's just go down this road. It takes me to you viewers of maybe not specifically this podcast, but you viewers of us, Black people, people of color. You can't fathom it because you voted for Biden with no problems.
Mhm.
We got to get this
And you
dude
knew
to
how
help.
old he was. He was having issues beforehand. You knew what his
And-
policies were and all of that. And you still voted for him.
And
So
we
stop
knew
it.
we had to get his ass out of here. The common goal was we got to
gotta
get
get
Trump out of here.
Mhm.
Now we get somebody who goes against Trump, and it's like, well, wait a minute. What? She's Black. Oh, shit. What we going to do?
And she's a woman.
And she's a woman, and I don't respect women. Not in my home. They don't cook, have babies, shut the fuck up. That's it. And so now you voted for a dude who we've already seen his platform. We've seen what he has done. This man literally told you in a debate, well, I really ain't got no plans, but
I have concepts.
I have concepts of plans. And so you now ask me on this platform, what would Vice President Harris do different when the man you voted for clearly said, I don't have no plans, but I got some concepts. That's like playing craps. We'll roll the dice, see what hits. Shit might work, shit might not work. And you're like, you know what?
That's my guy.
I believe in this guy. This is the shit here. Don't come on my platform with that bullshit. Sit down and think about what you type before you type. Because at the end of the day, we know put it to you like this. How many people died underneath Trump? And he could have prevented it if the proper information was given out when he found out what was happening. We all knew he knew early enough, but chose not to say anything.
Or do anything.
Or do anything.
Because he defunded who?
There are people's families who are no longer here because of those decisions. And some of you may, because there's still people who believe COVID was a myth. I wasn't essential. I seen people die. I watched people suffer from this as we try to figure out specifically what can we do. I've watched people get turned upside down and patted on the back trying to figure out, well, this man told you drink bleach. And then when he caught it, looked like he was about to die as he stood there going, because his ass was shook. Don't come over here with that. Ask this question. What would it look like if for once we had a person in office who was competent because their resume fit the bill? Oh, we had that. Barack. And Trump benefited from Barack's plans. So the economy that everybody thinks was so great belonged to Barack. So once again, like you said, the term that Trump had, can anybody tell me some tangible things besides $1,200 that he didn't create, that he did for this country? Don't ask me about Harris. I'm going to ask you, viewer L. Smith 18, what did Trump do to secure your vote? And if you didn't vote, get your ass off this platform. This is a platform for those who vote. I told my friend, we told our friend of this show, if you're a non-voter, you don't get to talk on this platform. I'll block you. If you did vote for him, tell us why, because this is what we're asking. What did he do to
secure your vote?
We have some people here who can help us because I need it, as you can see.
And today is National Mental Health or National Stress Relief Day. So
because I'm about to drink Bacardi straight, because you asked that question, and that question almost caused me to lose my job, because I know I have a hard feeling that my principal's watching this. Because
oh, really? Which one?
The main.
Okay.
Because
hey, girl.
Because ooh. Yeah, my therapist is here. I might need to see him by Friday.
We gotta switch gears here, and we are going to have Auntie V and James back, so we can discuss.
What'd she say?
Huh?
L18, you still talking?
Oh, he said no. He said he didn't say he didn't have a plan. That's specific. That's a specific click. We all watched the debate. He said
I watched
he had
the debate.
concepts.
He had a concept of plans.
Now, baby, go sit down. Anyway, we gotta switch gears.
What is this? L Smith 18.
We gotta switch gears, my nigga.
We're gonna switch, but
the computer.
Oh.
We'll get to them later.
What is that? What does that
we
say?
gotta get to the computer.
Oh, you're talking about the battery.
Yeah.
Where's the cord?
Right here.
Oh. Shit. L Smith 18, you lucky my shit's about to die. Because I promise you.
We'll get to you later, baby.
We'll get to, you
L.
stay
Smith,
there. The question is, did your ass
here,
vote?
Baby.
You didn't vote, then don't you log off.
L. Smith. L. Smith, baby. You wait right there. Give us one second. We'll be back.
Log your ass off now.
No. Now.
Hold on. Let me.
Sugar done.
We are unmuted. Let me.
Sweetie pie. Kumquat.
There we go.
There we go.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? It's your man, Coach Block, huh?
Let me contain these. It just said titties. We're back. Like, sorry, y'all.
So we are back. And as you can see, we have James Perkins here.
Mhm.
We have Auntie V, the healing consultant.
Mhm.
Everybody is in the building because we need to talk about this and heal. And L Smith,
Stop.
18, you
Stop.
caused me to have to dip into my drops. Because what I don't want to do is allow you to piss me off. So see, this is how this.
Your blood pressure up.
Yeah, this is how you do. You take your little
Yes.
drink. This is some pink lemonade.
Try to get your blood pressure up.
Hit him with 2 smooth ones.
There you
Blip,
go.
blip.
There you
There
go.
you go.
You're good.
Well, no, I do too because look how little it is. You know, I'm trying to keep it proportionate.
Shit, I'd be like,
Okay, so
anybody else want to try?
anybody else want to hit?
I've had mine already.
And no taste. They
No
dissolve
taste.
right into anything that you're drinking.
So, but
They do.
all jokes aside, though, we did we needed to heal after this election situation here.
Well, I think we're all still processing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what you guys tell us about how you feel
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
how do y'all feel about what took place yesterday?
You know, so here's my thing. I don't necessarily consider myself a genius at this. But it was not, for me, it wasn't unexpected.
Right.
I mean, I saw it the first time in 2015 when he got his momentum, and I saw it this time.
Mhm.
I went to bed early.
Mhm.
Because I knew
That's
that.
right.
I knew
You
the
knew it was gonna
outcome.
come.
I knew the
Mhm.
outcome of this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because of all the points you stressed earlier.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because I knew.
Mhm.
I knew that though I believe she is brilliant
Mhm.
and overly qualified in a
Mhm.
lot of aspects
Mhm.
for the job.
Mhm.
You know, everybody said, "Oh, well, this is not our America." Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
it's
what it
right
is.
there.
Mhm.
I don't. I mean, you're going to God. You know, God willing, you wake up in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and you know it's going to be Him.
Right.
She's already said that they're going to have a nice transition
Mhm.
of power.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not gonna act a fool.
Right.
So
Should we act a fool though? Don't that a piece of y'all want to
Well,
act an ass right now?
Just a
You know,
little bit.
we're not gonna do that.
No,
I want to
Are
tear
you
some.
gonna take the high road on TV?
Me?
No, I said we gonna take the high road.
Oh yeah, we
Okay.
always do.
All right. Yeah, we do.
Because we all, I mean, you know, I used to always say we always bring a knife to a gunfight.
Mm-hmm.
We always do.
Mm-hmm.
So ain't it
That is
time to
my-
tear
that-
some
that-
shit up?
That's my problem.
I need 2 more.
We're not even
drops.
going to get that far.
But that's the problem. Is that we've always wanted to be civil.
Yeah.
We've always wanted to, you know, to get along.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We've always wanted to be healing.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, you know, and the truth is that that's what we do.
Mhm.
Right.
And so we are going to do that. You know, I personally, I happen to love Michelle.
Mhm.
But when she said, "Oh, you know, when they go low, we go high." No, we don't.
I know.
See, that's the problem. We should not. We should go lower.
Yes.
And I know James has something to say about this. No, because we're talking politics.
Right.
Mhm.
We're
Mhm.
talking politics. We're not
Mhm.
talking about your day in, day out.
Mhm.
And that is a blood sport.
Mhm.
Right.
And I believe that you should never bring a knife to a gunfight.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I believe that in politics,
Mhm.
I believe that
Sometimes you
not
got to go
only-
low.
yeah, you need to play to win.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And this is not it's not a complicated thing.
Mhm.
You know, like James Carville said, you know, it's the economy, stupid.
Nope.
I mean, it's
Mhm.
just that simple.
Message.
That's what you have to play to,
Mhm.
because you got to play to what people want. Just like I don't believe, you know, when they segregate, they go, oh, you know, the non-working, non-educated working class.
Mhm.
I hate to be the one to tell you this, but we all up in here working.
Mhm.
We all
Mhm.
working class.
Mhm.
I don't care if you have a degree or not.
And I hate that I didn't prepare in enough time because people will judge and be like, "Oh my gosh, you watch Family Guy?" And I do because it's hilarious. Number one,
Hilarious.
and they also put little gems in there to show just how ridiculous we are as a people. One of the episodes was when Lois was running for mayor, and she had a long, extensive plan, and she was trying to talk to the main people about, "Oh, and we're gonna do this." You remember X, yes? But then when she just started saying keywords like government, inflation, everybody's like, yes, we're voting for her. And that's exactly how this feels, where it's just like, why do I even do all this? Let's
Most
just
people
play the
don't even know
game.
the 3 branches of government.
And don't.
So if you don't even know that,
Right.
I mean, because most people don't even understand how
Mhm.
dire the situation is.
Right.
They don't understand that. They don't want to understand that.
And that's true. I think that's a big thing. A lot of
too.
people are afraid. So it's like, well, I'd rather not know.
All
have
right.
attention
Well,
of a
when they
gnat.
when they gather that damn plane at that airport and your people are on the back of that shit in the cargo section,
James, help us.
Help
us,
when they put your ass, when they start gathering y'all up and giving y'all them aluminum foil ass blankets and putting y'all in what looks like a concentration camp, let's not act like we don't know, we ain't seen that, and ship your ass back over across that border, it's gonna get reeled in.
James, help us. Dig us out of this hole.
Because that
Help us
is no, and I say it with jest, but I also say it as this is a reality that we're facing.
Mhm.
The question is he really gonna do it? Like, we're hoping like you're not gonna do this, but you very well can.
He will.
And
He hasn't.
I love her Southern charm.
This gentleman.
Well,
why are we
that
acting
shit's
as if
about to
he's not
happen.
As if he hasn't told you.
And he has.
Yes.
He has.
Expect it.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of when.
Well, I think it's just a matter of how he does it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I got my
Once
papers.
there, one what we were saying about Lois is
You better come back to Family Guy. Mm-hmm.
right. It's actually a good segue. Actually, we'll tie all y'all stuff together.
He's gonna wrap it up in a bow for you.
That's a lot of energy.
Yeah. He's gonna wrap it up in a bow for you.
One is that you can have a great plan with great information,
Mm-hmm.
but if you don't have a clear message that people resonate with and can see themselves in, they're not going to buy into it.
Mm-hmm.
People forget that Trump is a businessman. He is a much better marketer than any other individual candidate. When we ask people, whether you don't agree with him or not, what is his slogan? What do people say?
Make America great.
Make
Mm-hmm.
America great again.
Again.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot think of any other candidate outside of probably Obama
Mm-hmm.
whose slogan that you can remember.
Mm-hmm.
So if a candidate cannot communicate their vision in a very succinct, clear message where somebody can say, I can get behind that and I can see myself as a part of your vision, you're not going to have my vote. No matter if I look through your detailed plan and be like, I agree with this, and that. Man, this is really good over here. But if you can't communicate that to me in less than 5 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
which is the span of people, you
Mhm.
watch the I forgot the comedy show with a brother who would often go to the Trump rallies and ask the individuals about things that Trump had said
Mhm.
that were factually
Mhm.
untrue. And they just stood 10 toes down. It was like, nah, he was right.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that was reading to them like, this is not true. Nah, yeah, he was right. He had so much buy-in because he had a very clear message.
Mm-hmm.
Make America great again. The other reality is that Trump, and to some degree, I'm almost surprised by how surprised people are.
Mm.
And because I don't necessarily blame him in the sense of he's responsible as much as he is a figure that really exposes what has long been a part of our rich history, if you will, in America.
Mm-hmm.
He just happens to be the candidate that has centralized so much of it and articulated it in a way that he didn't care about how people felt about him.
Mm-hmm.
And it resonated.
And that resonated. So when you have I went to see my boy Dave Chappelle last year, and you know he lives in Ohio, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying when he went to vote the last time, and he was in a line, you know, these rural people in Ohio, he's standing in line with all of them, and they're all saying, yeah, you know who you're voting for. It's like, you know, we're voting for Trump. And they were Chappelle was engaging with them. He's like, Trump ain't for you, he for me. I'm a rich black man and you're a poor white person. Trump ain't talking to you.
That's right. Which is the
talking
true
about
statement. He's talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about that 1%.
Mm-hmm.
John Legend said that on the Shannon Sharp podcast. He literally said, if I was selfish, I would have voted for Trump because he's helping me with my money.
Mm-hmm.
He said, but I'm thinking about my community.
And your
He's-
daughters.
Yeah, and he said, honestly, to be real, I have to think about that. He said, because my money, I'm okay. One way or the other, I'm okay. He said, but selfishly, if I was a selfish person, Trump would have my vote because he's looking out for me.
He's and anybody that can do that, right? You think about a family system. If you feel like you have been consistently disenfranchised, diminished, demeaned, whatever, and there is someone, a figurehead that comes along that gives you value to your voice, for which you feel like you never had,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to override your own judgment just because you feel like this person has your best interest at heart.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
It's true.
And this is the guy. Jesus Christ.
Well, because you know,
Lord have mercy,
there's
help
several
us.
documentaries. I remember seeing one in particular where they went to, I believe it was the Appalachian Mountains, which happens to be just economically just poor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now it's and they have been for quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And this gentleman was speaking, who literally was, I think he was, I mean, you could tell he was malnourished. He, you know, teeth had fallen out. The whole, I mean, just really just in bad health.
Mm-hmm.
And when asked if he would sign up for Obamacare, I mean, for the Affordable Care Act, he said yes. And then when they told him it was Obamacare, that was the other name.
I'll
for
die
it,
first.
I will die first. I will die first. I will die with my conviction.
I will die first.
Then get health care.
Yes.
And I was like, really?
Mm-hmm.
But yes. And I mean, I saw it, you know,
Mhm.
with the patient population I dealt with during COVID. I'm gonna die with this conviction.
And here's
This
what
is not true.
He created such a strong emotional
And
bond.
yes, to me, that's remarkable.
here's the other
Override.
question I had, and this was to the audience, to whom, or especially in North Carolina. There's a person who was black named Mark who said a lot of the same things that Trump said.
I know, just called him out.
And y'all asses didn't vote for him.
And didn't. I think it was what, 15%
Yeah.
margin?
Yeah.
Like,
He,
Well,
like, yeah. I mean, he and Trump say a lot. I mean, damn near verbatim some of the same things. But y'all didn't put his black ass.
and didn't.
I'm just saying.
well, because that was a bridge too far. I mean,
Come on.
yeah, they're like, it's a bridge too far now. I mean,
Right.
come on.
Mark Robinson's ass didn't get what you said, 15%,
I think
right?
it was 15%. Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
So then what are we talking about here?
Congratulations, Josh.
I was gonna say that makes you wonder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who are those people?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Who are the
Because they're
15%?
Republican.
Yeah. And
Those are some diehard Republicans.
yeah, because they said we still rolling with it. But everybody else was like, we ain't jumping that bridge.
Well, they were like,
Yeah.
yeah, he may be a little bit too cringy.
And once he went viral on the Shade Room, they said, "Now that's enough.
yeah.
That is where we're drawing
We're
the
gonna
line."
draw the line here.
Yeah.
Like I said, I just the thing that sometimes you just want people to say, like, you ever be like in a fight with somebody, like, say it. Oh, just say it. Just say she's black and it's a woman. I can't do it. And I think you could just be like, you know what? Fuck you, but I.
But that's what they did say.
Yeah.
They did
That's
say
what
that.
the number said.
But I
Yeah.
respect you for telling me
They,
the truth.
yeah, they did say it.
That was the number said.
Yeah, that's
It
what
was
the number said.
numbers.
Yeah.
It actually did say that. And he, he did his not him, but the GOP. I mean, targeted audience.
Yeah.
I mean, they went to
Yeah.
those audiences.
Mhm.
They understood
Mm-hmm.
that, these gentlemen, that it was a cultural thing.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mhm.
understood that. They
Mhm.
understood going into, Hispanic communities,
Mm-hmm.
Latino communities, that this is part of their culture,
Correct.
that they're, good, bad, or indifferent.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a whole demographic
Mm-hmm.
that they knew they could get.
So now, with you, you
mean,
understand
that's
politics a little bit
targeted.
more than the average bear. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
targeted marketing. I mean,
How?
really,
When do you begin now to look at the next person to put up?
now,
Right.
Right now.
right
I
now.
couldn't get my
And
mouth
if you
fast
listen,
enough.
if you listen to her concession speech
Mhm.
today,
Mhm.
did you listen to it? Did
I didn't
you
hear it all.
really listen
I didn't
to
hear it all. We just heard a
Oh,
clip that was
okay.
played.
Okay.
They already started.
She has.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
That's why that speech wasn't fiery and wasn't
Mhm.
in his face, and
Mhm.
she's like, oh, y'all need to unite,
Mhm.
y'all need
Mhm.
to do this. Yeah,
Mhm.
because she's setting herself up. She's setting herself to run
Mm-hmm.
or to be considered to run again.
Mm-hmm.
Because so no, I don't think Newsom is, and I'll tell you why I don't think Newsom is. I like him, but he's coming from a very liberal state with very liberal ideas. The country has already told you,
We
the
ain't with that.
majority,
Mhm.
we ain't cool with
We ain't with
liberalism.
that.
Mhm.
We no,
Y'all
not
can
down
kiss
with it. He's carrying a state that we already have.
Am I
So
missing
he's
comments?
tall, white, with good teeth. What's your point? I mean, he's nice looking. He's not. He's too liberal.
Mm.
No, he's too liberal. Mark
Hey,
my
yo.
words.
So,
Look.
Don't
Hey,
get me wrong.
fam,
He's an incredibly.
You would not believe why I'm late. As soon as Trump was announced today, they cut the after school for the kids with IEPs. I had to literally go pick my baby girl up.
what?
Yeah. This is a
And
big deal.
normally she rides the after school bus.
Sheesh.
Yeah, they were anticipating probably some type of
Yes.
So that's where my question is, because texting a lot of my friends, were Black women. A lot of people are in a state of just heaviness. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of frustration,
collective
and it's
grieving.
not so much of the fact of Kamala not being in office. It's just we don't know what is coming next, or we know and we just don't know how to prepare. So people are just generally like, here we go again. That heaviness that we all experienced, even though we don't want to admit it, and 2019 and on. Now this is the next series. How do we deal with that?
Yeah. There are two things that as soon as you said, I was like, man, people are collectively grieving.
Mm-hmm.
And so much of what happens publicly during the election, it reflects and brings up people's wounds of unanswered
Mm-hmm.
closure to things, like things that continue to persist. And what I've often heard hearing people, especially like this time, is despair. And like, man, is there going to be any resolve?
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of different things. One, I do think we need to create space for you to just say, you know what? I need to take a mental health day.
Mm-hmm.
I need to rest. I need to find ways to ground myself in my body so that I'm not making it worse by trying to find something that's going to distract me. So the fifth may not be helpful.
Damn.
May not be helpful.
You got mine ready.
I guarantee
I'm
you.
about to say, hey man, hand me that Bacardi bottle over there,
I
brother.
told you, breathe.
Man, when people woke up this morning and saw the election, I guarantee
Kim,
you.
look.
Go ahead and put your drops in
Breathe.
there. Mhm.
Before they left
Breathe.
work, they put the bottle on the table and their
Mhm.
wine glasses in preparation for coming back. But
Take a shot of that.
yeah, you gotta be able to cope
Mhm.
Yes.
and process. So this is one of the reasons I think this one was so polarizing. This election was because you even have families that are divided
Mhm.
Yes.
more than I've
Mhm.
probably seen in any other election where
Mhm.
internal. That's like I only want to speak to my cousin today. And
Yes.
if one of them texts me, they gonna get it.
Yes.
And and so and then you have people who don't care about it. Like they gonna call you, be like, "I told you so."
Right.
And so, if you need, my point is, if you need to turn off your phone, if you need to go
Mhm.
somewhere, you need to do that. You need to take time, but also for me to be very direct. Don't tie all of your identity into this election.
I know that's right. Yeah.
This is an election. This is you can give as much agency as you want. You have way more control than you realize.
Mhm.
And while you grieve, you acknowledge that and let tomorrow come.
Mhm.
So on TV,
Yes.
for us on the ground and grassroots, how do we prepare ourselves with this as well? So, up top, they're already, you said they're sitting at the table. All right, this is what we about to do. This is the game plan. This is the play.
Well, I think that's going to be shaken up, but go ahead.
How do we on the ground level, how do we begin to prepare ourselves to say, okay, we gotta make it through this 4, but politically, this is what I can do to maybe help, or something that I didn't do before. Maybe I voted, but I want to be more involved. How do I accomplish that?
I think the first thing is just stop for a second. Stop.
Mhm.
Stop. Take a time out.
Mhm.
Take a mental health. Well, James says day. I say as long as you need.
That's right.
Well, because
I say as long as you
because you're going to verify the election January 6th. You're going to have your inauguration the 20th.
Mhm.
Hit pause
Mhm.
because there's nothing you can do about it.
Mhm. Mhm.
It is completely out of your hands.
Acceptance.
Mhm.
You need to just stop. You
Mhm.
just need to stop for a minute.
Mhm.
Take a breather. Like James said, time out. You got to go to the beach. You got to do whatever.
Mhm.
Whatever. Journal. Meditate.
Mhm.
Look at some whales. I don't know. Whatever works for you.
Right.
Because it will pick up.
Mhm.
Because it's the long haul.
Mhm.
You got midterms in 2 years.
Mhm. Mhm.
Which
are very important.
Yeah. And let's be honest. The first 2 years of Trump's presidency, he had the House and the Senate,
Mhm.
and they did nothing.
Mhm.
So just hit pause for a second.
Mhm.
Because you don't know.
Mhm.
The truth is you don't know.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I'm paraphrasing, but wasn't it Mark Twain that says I had a lot of problems in my life, most of which didn't come true?
Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm.
it's you just got to stop for a second because it will pick up because midterms are coming.
Mhm.
And after January 20th,
Mhm.
honey, it's going to start going again.
Mhm.
Things are going to start happening again.
Yeah.
You can start gently getting yourself back into it with maybe volunteering,
Mhm.
with maybe, just doing some local stuff
Mhm.
because you are not in, you're in a long distance race here.
Right.
You're not
Yeah.
in, yeah. And then begin to do that
Okay.
because, just you've got to give your time self to grieve.
Mhm.
And let's be honest, this grieving could be a long time.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It can be, it's a process.
Yes.
I think people need to. This is to your point. As you stop, you grieve, you radically accept that this is the scenario. You need to be thinking about what's my individual responsibility and contributing to how I move this forward.
Mhm.
Because I do. Because I do believe that this experiment, as we call it,
Mhm.
I think it will continue. I think it will survive Trump.
Mhm.
We may not like it,
Mhm.
Mhm.
but I have hope in that.
Yeah. Mhm.
I do believe that he's going to do what he says he's going to do.
Mhm.
I believe that the balance in the Middle East will be shifted.
Mhm.
I believe that.
Mhm.
I believe that there are certain things that are going to happen. I believe Russia will probably annex Ukraine because I don't
Mhm.
think we're going to stop them.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I mean,
Right.
so there's just certain things that you know
Yeah,
are
that are coming down the
probably is
pipeline.
going to happen.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
again, how does that affect your daily life?
Right. Right.
Because we still got to get up and go to work. We
And
got to take
do.
care of our family. We
And
still got to
do.
do that. I
And-
mean,
So that's what me and my brother Charles always say.
yeah.
No matter what, we still got to punch that damn clock.
Yeah.
That clock got to be punched because
Wheels are
you
still
can't
gonna go
just
round.
stop. Yeah.
So then this is another question I have, and this is going to be a deeper conversation that we have in 2 weeks when Auntie V and James come back. Preparing for the conversations of family, friends, and coworkers that you know are supporters, you know.
I'm
have been
canceling
act-
shit now.
Hmm?
I ain't even, y'all said, see, yeah.
that
Get
have-
your mental space. I'm canceling shit now. I won't be there.
They've been active on social media, but we know Thanksgiving's coming up, Christmas, New Year, all of that is hitting. And you might have to come across some of these people and you might want to have some words with them. How do you balance yourself and prepare? And like I said, we're gonna have a more extensive conversation around this because there's a lot of trauma surrounded around holidays and family. So, but let's just take it election wise.
One of the options to, I know you've been partially funny and serious.
He's
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah, maybe you just don't go. You
Mhm.
just don't engage.
Cancel shit
Um,
now. I won't be attending. My RSVP is canceled.
You went from yes to no.
I will
So
not
maybe
be
to no.
there. Yeah, no. Are you interested? No.
Yes. So yeah, people really gotta be honest and assess your mental and emotional capacity. If you know you're vulnerable, you like, yeah, I might just go off. Stay away.
Mm.
And it's, what are you trying to prove? That's the question that came to my head. And what you're talking with your cousin, auntie, mama about. What are you trying to prove? Some of what you already know when you're communicating, people already have deeply held beliefs that you're not going to be able to change.
Right.
So don't waste your energy.
Mm-hmm.
If you never convinced them of anything other before related to the family, I doubt if you're going to change their minds about politics.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That's true.
Because I mean, you have for me. I have conversations, and I listen. I'm like, okay.
Mm. Mm.
I mean, and then when people continue, I'm like, I said okay.
I would say this is probably one thing we haven't developed the art of listening well. So I think in a lot of ways with family conflict, because we're anticipating what people are going to say, we're already responding to what we think they're about to say, not actually listening to what they're saying.
Actively listening to what they're saying. That's what I call it. I call it actively listening.
Active listening,
paying attention.
Curious.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just it. I mean, because I don't know, James, people, because I always think that people want to be heard and validated for their discussion.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I'm not going, and I respect that. I mean, you have your opinion. You can say it, and then I can say okay, because it is okay. It's okay. I mean, we can agree to be disagreeable. I mean, it's not a problem.
There's we need to be curious, but I think there's a difference between being curious and forming an indictment, and we know what that feels like when someone they think they're asking a question, but they're not asking a question. They're making a statement.
Correct.
And you're like, I'm just asking you a question. No, you're not asking me a question.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear your tone. You're trying to make a point.
Mm-hmm.
So if you actually want to have a conversation with your family members, lower your tone and really be curious and ask it from a curious tone, not from an accusatory.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you know how we do with family. It's like you try to lead them. So,
I'm biting the
tell
inside of my
You
cheek
are.
so much.
Right,
Because
you're
you're not
like,
listening.
so tell me why.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really curious. It's like you.
So you
wanna
saying
prove
you
them wrong.
voted for Trump, but you get food stamps? Explain that.
Right. There you go. That's perfect example.
Yeah,
Explain
because you've
that.
already formulated.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
So
Perfect
you
example.
telling me you don't you get
You a
child care,
hypocrite.
but you voted for somebody who's against child care? Explain that, brother.
I just don't get you.
Yeah, that's a little
That
accusatory.
shit's crazy to me. I don't get it. But answer it though.
Uh-huh.
Conversation's over.
Now part of
It
the
never
show's
began.
moving. Right.
It never began.
Right.
It never began.
Mhm.
I mean,
So
there was
you
never a
told two
conversation.
women to have an abortion, brother, but you don't want to be with somebody who's pro-abortion. Explain that, brother, because you 2 kids down. And
Yeah.
then now you like, oh
Yeah, here we go.
I didn't even know you had to. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
When I tell you so much about politics is tied into, it is so tied to our personal narrative
Mm-hmm.
that politics oftentimes gives, depending on what candidate you choose, it gives you a plausible story to fill in the gap in your own story.
Mm.
Yeah.
It does.
So, an example I use about the rural white people and in Ohio, and how he's,
Mm-hmm.
Chappelle was like, no, he ain't for y'all.
Right.
But because Trump created such a narrative where they felt like, man, how in the world did he make me feel good about being poor?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have never felt, you think this, man, they voted for Obama and they feel disenfranchised. They ain't got nothing. But now Trump comes on the scene. He gives them a compelling message. They feel more entitled coming to the voting poll, dirt poor, and got nothing. But you have Dave Chappelle, and they think in their eyes like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm better than him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Two different economic levels,
Mhm.
but because he empowered them,
Mm-hmm.
it's like none of that made sense. So
Mhm.
whoever essentially can create a narrative that someone can buy into to help them fill in the gaps of their own story, to
Mhm.
make them feel less insecure and inadequate,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be that candidate,
Mm-hmm.
regardless. That's
Mhm.
why it's just going to be that regardless.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be a ride or die.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's over half America feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
So Auntie V, with you, the elder statesman is when it comes down to
Okay,
well,
what's that, son?
well, no,
Okay.
I was going to say when it comes down to politics, because
Where we going with
with the politics.
I got to turn around.
No,
Turn around.
yeah, no, straight up, because no, do it.
Lower the thing.
No, I do, because it's
All right, boo.
to me, I take it as a respect thing, because you've seen generations of bullshitting
Mm-hmm.
administrations,
Mm-hmm.
and you've seen the impact on our community. So now with something like this, where we know we do have some divide amongst each other in reference to what we just experienced, the impact to the community, what do you foresee, like initially, that initial blow, and then how do you forecast where we as a community kind of like lead ourselves as this presidency goes through for the next 4 years?
I think it will be more. I think that on a whole, our communities have been suffering anyway.
Mm-hmm.
This is we adapt.
Mm-hmm.
We adapt. We've all adapt.
Mhm.
Whatever president is in office,
Mhm.
which I think sometimes which is why it's very difficult to get certain demographics in our community to vote,
Mm-hmm.
because we have already felt like we're disenfranchised
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
to begin with.
Yes.
Our community sometimes kind of works in a deficit
Right.
Mhm.
Correct.
because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Feel like a victim with no agency.
yes, I just think that we are chronically. I mean, just as a community, we chronically feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So is Trump going to change that narrative for us?
Mm-mm.
I don't believe so.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's personal as individual. 'Cause when
Yeah.
you've already been personally victimized, and you're a part of a system that reinforces it.
Yes. I just don't think I don't know if we are going to see like these drastic changes
Mhm.
in our lives, in our communities. I
Mhm.
just don't know if that's going to be a thing.
Right.
It hasn't been in the past.
Mhm.
I mean, I think that's why we built up so much hope and change with Barack,
Mhm.
and why the community was so a lot of aspects of the community were disappointed in that
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
because he didn't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
To the he didn't do that.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's I just don't know if we,
Mhm.
meaning our community, I just don't know if we're that wrapped up in, because I don't think it's going to affect our day-to-day
Correct.
grind.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
I don't think so.
Mhm.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we're going to still,
Mhm.
be,
Chugging
making the
along.
trains, run on time.
Mhm. Mhm.
I just think that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
I think, I don't think he's going to uplift our community. No,
No.
I don't.
I was
No.
because sometimes it's hard for us when we see egregious acts. It can be hard for us to acknowledge a person's contributions, because we feel like if we acknowledge their contributions in this area, then that means we're saying we're down for the purpose for the person. As a business owner, Trump might treat me better than
That's a true statement.
that's just,
That's a true statement.
and I've already felt that.
Yeah.
Coming here to Texas.
Yeah.
But in other areas,
What, brother?
wow.
Say
What's
say
the
what,
true
brother?
statement? It's a true statement.
Hold up. Pause on the show, brother.
What was
Cut
the
his
brother
mic.
up there? That was me. I was actually in a place.
Are you L Smith 18, brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, that profile didn't have a picture either, brother.
Test your distress tolerance skills.
Like, hold up, brother. What is you trying to say? We'll be back, brother. Are you here? Nigga, I know you didn't.
We don't mute. Can't mute.
What the
fuck? Yeah.
Hey. But
It's
it's a true statement.
Yeah.
It's a true statement.
That's why it's hard when I work with couples. I say, validation doesn't mean agreement, but it's hard for us to validate our partner's perspective if we feel like, if I say, hey, I'm sorry about this and you were right about this, then that means we're accepting full responsibility for the conflict.
Yeah.
That's not what you're doing. You're just saying, hey, based on what you said to me, I can understand how you felt that way.
Right.
But we ain't gonna do that if we feel like
You gonna take it and run. Now you believe everything that
it's like, oh, so you're responsible for all of it now. See? No, I'm just taking responsibility for my part. What is your contribution to this? But yeah.
Because it's never, expect this. Like in relationships, it's never 100% all the time.
There you go.
Never ever.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's 80-20, sometimes, it's very rare that it's 50-50.
Right. Right.
I'm going to be very honest. Somebody's got to give and take
Right.
all the time.
Right.
Nobody's 100.
Mhm. Mhm.
Nobody is all the time.
Doesn't that really represent the election
Yeah.
with Kamala having to give up?
Yes. I heard people, because I did listen to a lot of it today. There were strategists and pollsters that were like, oh, she needs to come out there with her concession speech and, basically just say, take all the weight and just say, and be uplifting. And I was like, no, that's not her responsibility. She's given enough. She's given 200%. She really has.
Yes.
She's pounded out. She's given and she's given and she's given.
Mhm.
No. And now it's time for her to wind it down to zero
Mhm.
and let someone else give it.
Mhm.
Let someone else give 200%.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely not. And that's a relationship. She was willing to sacrifice the relationship whether it's 50-50, whether it was 80-20
Yeah.
her way, whatever, for 4 years.
Mhm.
She was willing to do it. Hell, she was willing to do it for 8.
Mhm.
That's what she was.
Compromise.
Yeah, that's what
Mhm.
she was offering.
Mhm.
She was offering to just give it all,
Mhm.
leave it all out there on the field.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just not the way it worked. That's not what the majority of the people in America wanted.
Mhm.
For whatever
That hurts.
reason.
Knowing that though, it still makes me mother.
Because you were still fuming over there.
Because the only reason why I'm fuming is because I am the person that, like our mother, say it, say it, you mother, say it.
Well, you
I don't
you
want to
saw-
read no
you saw
numbers.
you saw
Yeah.
you saw
Mhm.
hope and change.
Yeah, I
Oh,
did.
hurrah.
Yeah, I did.
You saw that.
I did.
You saw potential.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then I'm like, in my mind, I kept thinking like, I know for a fact she got the women because look at
She
what's on the line,
But she didn't.
and she didn't. I'm
She
like,
did not.
you gotta be mother.
She didn't. And
She did not.
y'all can help me out with this. I think Trump had a larger demographic of young black men voting this segment.
She did. What she
No, I'm talking about Trump.
Trump. Trump got a small bump in
Okay.
young black.
From last time.
Yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
from last time.
And I was telling someone, I was like, you think about that I mean, the policies that Kamala laid out for marijuana, it was very clear, like
Mhm.
what she could do for black men.
Mhm.
But there were a lot of them that still went with
Mhm.
Trump.
Mhm.
Big majority of them did.
Majority.
I think it went from 19 to 21.
Mm.
I think it's bad time, but we have to remember Kamala lost North Carolina by less than 300,000.
Yep.
6.8, I think, is what he got.
Mhm.
She got like 6.4.
Yes.
Mhm.
So the size of Durham,
Mm-hmm.
with over 12 million people, made the difference.
Mhm.
Now, some of that is the gerrymandering.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that is the gerrymandering.
Numbers.
Not when you're talking about overall votes. If you're talking districts, yes, that's gerrymandered. But we're talking one vote,
What I'm saying,
So she was down 300,000 votes.
she got 300,000.
Mhm.
Those are individual votes.
When you look at 12 million people,
But break down to 300,000 people. What did that demographic look like?
See, that's what I
'Cause
want to know.
That's what you
Like,
have. 'Cause
who are those people?
300,000
You
people.
sons of.
Why did that? Yeah. What did the
You
demographic of
mother-
that breakdown look like?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Who were those people?
Mhm.
Were they white women? Were they African American men?
that's North Carolina. It was repeated in Michigan. It was repeated in 4 or 5 states. Now, he won every last one of them.
Absolutely. Well, that's electoral college, and that's a whole different other.
Mhm.
That's a whole different other animal.
Mhm.
But the question, but see, that's what people get paid to do, is to look at the 300,000 people. What does that look like? Who are those people?
Mhm.
Why did they vote the way they voted?
Mhm.
Because you have to look at them.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And as a party, because I guarantee you that's what Republicans did 12, 16 years ago. Because when Barack was elected the first and the second time, look at your state legislatures.
Mhm.
Look what they look like.
Mhm.
Because they looked at those 300,000 people that voted, that voted the opposite direction for which they wish to do. Why did they?
See, that's what I'm
Trump
on.
is not. Yeah, well, you gotta know.
And I am, because I'm a
You've gotta
data. I'm a
know.
data person. Like, even when I'm coaching, I need to know, like, first down, what's the percentage of this play
Yes.
that they run first down out of this many times? Because that's the only way I can get your tendency, so I can change it.
Because that's why Trump called Rathensperger in Georgia and tell him, look, I need a little over 11,000 votes.
He knew the number.
That's why he
He
knew
knew where
the
to hit.
freaking numbers.
Mhm.
He knew the numbers, and that had nothing to do with any districts
Mhm.
or with anything else, except though I need those.
I need those
votes.
numbers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I need those numbers.
Mhm.
How to give me those?
Right. Right.
or can you figure out how I can get those?
Right. Because
And-
there's a brother who
And that's a
actually
business person.
from CNN. I can't remember his
Back
name.
to James's point.
He gave me the numbers, like and like just plus this. He said this is what we need to understand. It's plus 13 for white men, plus 14 for white women, minus 3 for black men, minus 1 for black women, plus 9 for Latino men, and he circled plus 9 for Latino women, and he circled all other races plus 17. We need to figure out why it went up.
'Cause Did I not tell you months ago? It is not about black men.
Yeah, yeah,
It was never about them.
yeah, yeah,
It was never about them.
yeah. He said that these are the numbers that we need to pay attention to.
Yes.
These are the swing numbers.
It was never about
Mhm.
black men,
Yeah.
because that little 20-something% that they were talking about, we already knew they were going to do. What they were going to do.
Oh, coon
I mean, you
ass.
knew what they were going to do.
Oh, we got comments. I'm sorry. Where did
No,
I? Okay.
I've never
That's huge.
understood that.
I won't attend. This is going back to the family.
Oh, the family
Yeah,
thing.
because a lot of the older family members just feel if you don't agree with them, it's a whole deal. And I'm not about to argue with someone we don't see outside of their
Yeah, it's control manipulation.
Yeah.
Don't involve it.
Ain't your daddy Mexican, but you voted for the border? He talking about now. Wait a minute.
Somebody's daddy. Oh, yeah. Well,
No,
and then
wait. Shocking, a lot of Latinos voted for him. Like, what he talking about? Y'all too.
Well,
with
Latinos
the-
think they're white.
yeah,
Thank
they do.
you.
They do.
Jesus,
They
Christ,
do.
y'all just talk
Thank
about
you.
me.
They do.
Again, we're
Wow,
talking
whoa.
culturally.
Yeah,
Culturally,
they
that's
identify.
yes, absolutely.
They
Yeah.
think black
Pow,
people are
pow.
lazy. Not all of
Exactly.
them, but
They do.
Yeah,
think
that
we're
is
lazy.
exactly why you had 100,000, Hispanic men in Pennsylvania vote Republican.
Mhm.
In Pennsylvania.
Don't do it.
I'm biting
Don't.
it.
In
Biting
Pennsylvania.
it. We about to
That's-
find
that's
out.
how that
We about to
happened.
find
What time
out.
of the show is?
No, I'm just
But that's how
saying.
that happened.
We about to find out.
That's how that happened.
We about to
And
find out.
essentially, that's what Annie was saying because she's had experience with this, where people that she knows, even though they're Mexican, they identify as white or they
Mhm.
think that they're white. And colorism is a big thing,
Yep.
where it's just like, look, no, I'm not like them.
It's
Mhm.
And
culture.
even when I went into Puerto Rico, like there's a huge difference between
Mhm.
your lighter hue Puerto Ricans and then the darker hue. Same
Yeah.
thing with Dominican Republic. Like the closer to black, the more it's like, ugh. And then don't you dare call one the other. But there's a colorism problem, and like you said, most do identify as white. That's the problem.
When you hear them propellers start up
Not
on
for
that
the-
plane,
not for
All
Republicans.
right,
and
all
they
It
get
wasn't
ready
no
to send
problem
your
for
ass up.
Republicans.
when they get ready to say, "Thank you for your vote," now kick rocks.
Well, see, but the
That's
question,
not-
the bigger question is how do you get? Do you target? How do you get those people back, or do you
Right.
get those people back,
Right.
or do you look at numbers, or do you look for another demographic?
Mhm.
See, now
to
we're talking.
target midterm.
That's what I want to talk. Like, I like that strategy part of it because, okay, do we just say that a woman can never be in that position? Because you figure you had Hillary and you had, Vice President Harris, who are both qualified women, and it did not work. So are now we just saying that a woman can't be in that place, and then now if not, then what is the man that's going to be in that seat for the Democratic Party to be able to say, by golly, we have one?
A wide.
I think you have to have a center. I think you're going to have a middle of the road of centrist. I really do.
Mm.
because we're not talking because you're talking about a national election.
Mhm.
If you have learned nothing else
Mhm.
about with these elections, number one, don't believe polls.
Mhm.
Mhm.
They lied with Hillary.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
continue to lie.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Pollsters get paid to ask someone a question this second today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking, how'd you vote?
Mm-hmm.
And you can choose to lie to me if you want to,
Right, right,
because your vote is your vote.
Mhm.
I don't have to tell you who I voted for.
right, right, right.
You know, so no, I've never believed in polls.
Okay. Okay.
People have never been more scared to share who they voted for.
Right.
in these last-
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to
Yeah.
do that. That's
Yeah.
number one. I don't. Yeah. And I mean, strategists, please.
Mm-hmm.
You live in a freaking. I mean, you live in a bubble.
Mm-hmm.
You only talk to the people that you talk to
Mm-hmm.
from your party. If you're a Democratic pollster or a strategist, how has that worked out for us so far?
Mhm.
Not
I
well.
mean,
Not well.
really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really, how
Mhm.
has that worked out?
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't work. They're not in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
They don't work where we work.
Right.
They don't see what we see.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that because right now I think some of them are calling for the top leadership in the Democratic Party,
Mm-hmm.
and they think that is because we need to shake it all up.
Mm.
I mean the chair. I was thinking to myself, I said, y'all do know that the chairperson of the DNC is black.
What? I'm sorry.
I don't know who
He's
that
the
is, but thank you.
What does it say?
This is a great program.
Right here?
Yeah, I don't know who she is, but thank you.
Hey, appreciate you. God bless.
But that's the thing, right? Y'all do know he's black.
Right.
Yes.
He's a black male.
TV said, no, wait. We do know.
Yeah.
And
Let's go back
that's
to
the
this
head
point.
of your party.
Yes.
It is not it's not Obama. It's not Biden. It's not President Biden.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those aren't the head of your party.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those are not the decision makers. 'Cause
Right.
if that were the case, then Biden would still be running.
Right.
He
Right.
would have ran to the bitter end.
Right.
He
Right.
literally was going to go to the wheels fell off.
But I think that's something that you need to repeat because most people don't know that. They do think, like you said, that Biden is the head, Obama is the head. And then that's unfortunately what's been taught from one person to another, to another, to another, to another, and that's why there's so much misinformation. So if you could please repeat
He's the
that. again.
Powers
chairperson
of
of
local
the
government.
DNC,
There we
of
go.
the Democratic National Committee. It's that person that is the head of your party.
Boom.
That is the person that sits at the table with everyone else
Mhm.
to decide who is going to be the Democratic Party candidate.
Mm.
Biden doesn't run anything.
Mm-hmm.
They let Schumer and Nancy and all of them weigh in and
Mhm.
see, because that's real power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that you see a lot on social media where people are like, oh, well, what has Obama done for the Democratic Party? That misinformation right there that people don't understand, where it's like they're not the head,
No,
They're
it's
not.
the head.
No.
No.
And people don't know that.
Absolutely, yeah. That's basic.
Mm.
It's the party.
And you
It's the party.
on TV.
Yeah,
But
it's
I need you to go ahead and jump in these comments so you
but
can
it's
see
the
that these people,
party.
they don't know.
It's the party.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think why do you think you have a convention, a
Mm-hmm.
national convention?
Mhm.
Is that every state brings their platform
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
to the national
Mhm.
convention?
Mhm.
They all sit, the executive committee, the chair, the
Mhm.
co-chairs, all those. They sit in a little room, a little bigger than this, and they hammer it out. And
Mhm.
every cotton picking state goes, you know what? I want this.
Mhm.
I want this. Like playing spades.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I want this. I
Mhm.
want this. They put it on the table
Mhm.
and then they battle it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's how the sausage is made. And
Mhm.
then and then what they go, you know what, people, we believe in this.
Mm-hmm.
Change. And then here comes Obama.
Yes. Because it was at
Yeah.
one of those conventions
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
people quote got to know him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. And then the people of the Democratic Party decided to elevate him
Mm-hmm.
because that's where you're getting your money.
Because we need that.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what he did differently is that he was like, you know what, y'all ain't gonna give me no money. I'm going to do a grassroots.
Boom. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask for $1 because I'm gonna tell you, somebody that will donate $1 to you, they're gonna vote for you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
They're gonna vote. If you can get someone to give you $1 for your campaign,
Mm-hmm.
Lifetime customer.
they are going to
Mhm.
vote for you.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna do it all day, every day.
So if y'all could just donate $1 to TDS Radio.
yeah, because they gonna
Really
watch.
appreciate it.
They're gonna
Nigga.
listen. They're going to listen. I mean, that's
Yes.
You ain't saying nothing but a word. So on TV, would you like to run our TDS campaign? Because
Let's take a level off
it
right now.
is. That's what it is.
I need you to run this campaign.
Because that's the truth.
Mhm.
Know your numbers.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I tell anybody that.
Mhm.
Anybody that's running for anything or doing anything,
Mhm.
know your numbers.
Can you say that again? Because maybe my
Yeah.
job might listen. Know your
Know your
numbers.
numbers. If you know that you need 20 people
Mhm.
to visit you to stay afloat a month, that's your number.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I got to get my 20.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It's the same thing. I mean, that's the same thing. Trump is no different.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's crazy, but but I bet you he knew his numbers.
Yeah.
I bet you he knew his win numbers.
Yeah.
I bet you somebody in the geo. I bet you somebody on his team knew the numbers. Well, how many people do I need? Because if he didn't know it, he wouldn't be going after the 100,000 Hispanic gentlemen in Pennsylvania alone. Because they targeted them. They went to them. They knocked on their doors.
And
That's
that
what they did.
and that's where that 54% starts to slide
Worried
over.
about the wrong thing.
Yeah.
No, understand your people, your community. Democrats aren't great at that because all they did was steal the same plan. They just said, "Okay, y'all knock on doors. You know what? That's an idea.
Yeah, we'll try
You
it.
do that.
Yeah, we'll try it.
Y'all vote early. You know what? This time we're gonna vote. We're gonna start voting out early.
Yeah.
Because traditionally Republicans vote on election day.
Got you. Yeah.
You know, and then they run up the numbers. That's not what they did this time. They started early. He told them to start early. They did all the same things that Democrats have been doing all the time. We just don't do it correctly. And it's our shit. How are you gonna let somebody come into your house, take your shit, and then do it better?
Yeah. There's a song, "Walk in your trap, take over your trap."
You know, it's not, politics is not difficult.
Yeah.
It really isn't.
So
they make it difficult.
Grieving, because you both mentioned it's a grieving period that we're in, and we don't tend to do well with grief. So before we get into grieving products, let's go into grieving mindset so that you can identify the fact that you are grieving. What does this look like? Because we'll downplay it as if like, it's all right, but really people may be hurt. So how do we identify from this situation that we may be in a state of grief?
That's good. I'm trying to figure out where I want to start. Obviously, if you're dysregulated, what I mean by dysregulated, let me say this. I think a good part of this sometimes in grieving is that people don't understand their bodies. So a part of trying to grieve well is really understanding your body, but people don't understand their bodies well. So I want people to start really paying attention to your sensations, what you're feeling in your body, stress-wise, your breathing. All those things are really important. So if you are binging on shows, if you are sleeping excessively, if you
Shit. I was about to say, now wait a minute, James, get out my house. Get out my house. Because you're at the door now. Be careful what you say next.
If you feel like you're in a constant mental fog, if you find yourself being,
I need another drink. I'm grieving.
The reason I say this is because when you start laying out these things, you realize like, man, it's all this stuff I really grieved to, and this election is just adding on to all of the stuff I haven't grieved about.
Yeah.
Your people don't understand that even sometimes your need to be perfectionistic can be a sign of you're not grieving well. It can be a sign of depression.
James, go to hell. wait a minute. It's 8:04. It's time to go.
Cut his mic. Cut his mic.
She's like, big time up.
Wait a minute.
Cut his
Hard
mic.
stop. Hard stop.
It
She's
could
like,
be-
hard stop.
Cut his mic.
You could be we call it functional depression. Like you don't have to always be under the covers with the lights off for you to actually be depressed. Your irritability, your perfectionism, your your lack of self-compassion, you don't give yourself room. All these things are signs like, man, you're not giving yourself time to
Breathe, coach. Let go of the mic.
Oh no.
Let go of the mic.
Oh no,
Let it go.
Lord.
Let it go.
Let me shut up. I'm just sitting
Let it
there.
go.
Oh my God.
Let it go.
I'm
Breathe.
depressed. I'm
It's all right.
grieving.
It's all right. You doing okay?
Lord help me.
It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. Preach, James. Go ahead. I got it. I got him. I'm looking over here.
Yes.
It's okay. It's okay, coach.
Oh Lord.
Come on with us, baby. It's okay.
I know, right? Paying attention to your distractibility in conversations, not with people that just like you didn't really want to listen to them in the first place. So it's like you ain't paying attention. But even for the people that you love, that you care about, and you're finding yourself like, man, what did you just say? Like your mind is going off. You're unfocused. You're distracted more regularly. All these things can be signed, or you're in a freeze state. You feel numb. You feel like you can't feel any of your emotions. These are all signs.
Shut up.
That you. He said nothing. He said nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel my emotions.
I think you got a session going on here.
I think TDS needs to cut the cameras. Cut. We going through some shit over here.
Enough of this shit.
You hitting apparently too close.
Yeah, we're going through some shit over here in TDS land.
Yeah.
This is why I said the political season can just amplify what you're already feeling. It's just the politics just gave you a story, a reason to say this is why.
Yeah.
Right.
These damn Trumpers.
That's the reason I'm stressed out.
And it's not them.
No,
it's not them.
Yeah.
You were stressed out
Prior to
because you gave somebody some money. You knew what they're gonna do with it, and now you mad. You like,
I see this nigga he ain't give us our app yet. See, I had called the nigga,
How
which
about
is
that?
actually a true
Which
story.
is exactly the way they feel.
Yeah.
Which is exactly the way people who support Trump feel.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
They feel this same frustration.
Yeah.
More acutely. There you go.
Yes,
Mhm.
they do. That's why they are the way they are.
Whose campaign you gonna run this year coming up? You gotta run somebody's. You know this shit too well not to run somebody's campaign.
No, this is human nature.
But you know it
Yes.
because so many people don't identify it. You get what I'm saying? Like, so we're looking at people on social media all day long talk crazy shit, and you two break it down as this is human nature. This shit has been like this. It's been like this since
And
been
it's
like this.
predictable.
And then James is like, but then you ain't really grieving about this shit. Your ass been crazy before.
We are saying the same thing. We're just saying it two different ways.
Two different ways.
Mhm.
We as humans, we are always our default setting is to look out for our own self interest, no matter what.
Human
And
nature.
it's so when you understand human nature,
Mhm.
man, it changes the whole game.
It does.
Mhm.
It does. When you understand, because it's predictable.
Mhm.
You can predict people's human nature. My grandma she used to tell me that. She said, the opposite of love, honey, is not hate. It's indifference.
Mhm.
Because you can't predict indifference.
Mhm.
Hate, you can predict.
Mhm.
You know how people act
Yeah.
all day long when
Mhm.
they hate you.
Mhm.
And it's true, there's a thin line between love and hate, but that's a whole different other subject.
Mhm.
However, indifference,
Mhm.
that's what you need to be scared about
Okay.
because you can't predict that.
Right.
Mhm.
And that is also human nature.
Mm. Whew. Well, we got the holidays coming up.
Yeah, 'cause I was gonna say that episode is going to be a lot. So for those of you, because I know we have a lot of viewers and a lot of people that we have in our community that don't really have community or they don't necessarily really care for their family during the holidays, this is going to be the conversation for you. So in 2 weeks, we're going to have Auntie V and James back to discuss how to get through all of this, because a lot of this stuff can really bring up a lot of emotions, especially for those of you who have lost someone during the holiday season. So it's a lot to deal with. It's not all fa la 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 and that bullshit. We have some really deep conversations to get to, so your holidays don't have to be miserable or uncomfortable.
And tune in because I'm gonna share my shit and help y'all with some therapy. Because I'm gonna share mine.
And I'm gonna tell y'all exactly why I don't fuck with these niggas. So
Yeah, like I mean, it'll be.
It's self-care. It's self-care.
Yeah,
that's
it
what
is.
you're doing.
It's a
you're doing
release.
I will be
self-care.
at her house.
Me too. And it's a release. And you know, the one thing that from all of our joking, and I think Kim and I, We have a very dark sense of humor, so we joke when we're in pain. That's why when we're talking, when James is talking, we're pointing at each other like,
Nigga, I know that's me. Family Guy. I don't pay attention to what people's fucking telling me. And at work, I'm like, I want fucking perfection.
Yeah.
Get it together.
Unattainable.
and I'm just over here like, everybody is wrong. See, it's your fault. Nah, brother, look in the mirror. I'm not looking at shit. It's you, brother.
Ain't nothing without David Ruffin.
I did this.
But the only thing you can change is you.
Exactly.
The only thing you can do is change your reaction to stuff.
And you know what? This is what this
Right.
brother's helping me with because we're working on that.
We
That
can
person
help
in the
you with
mirror.
that attitude adjustment.
You see, I keep it handy. Pulled it right out live on y'all.
Oh yeah. You gotta
How
bring
can
it
we
down.
get it though?
You gotta
How
bring
can
it down.
Tell me. And
You have to
And
bring
you
it
have a
down.
Black Friday special.
I do.
Mhm.
It's the drop.
It's the
It's the drop.
right on time.
Yes. To go into your holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because that's what it's about. I mean, you know, and I'll do seriousness. You know, James talks about, you know, our mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does.
Mhm.
It's you're developing some skill sets, some coping mechanisms.
Yes.
Yes. And the drops just honestly, it just helps. It just brings you
Oh my
down.
gosh,
a
It
little.
does.
Because it's not going to numb any of it.
No.
Absolutely.
It doesn't
No.
numb it. It doesn't take it away.
No.
It doesn't do anything. But what it
Once it wears off.
Mhm.
yes.
It just makes things clear.
well,
you
and
know?
yeah, and it brings down that stress level, that
That
anxiety level.
Yes, the anxiety because
Does.
I
That's
know
what
I
it
feel it. I'm like,
does.
I'm about to slap you.
Yeah.
Drop. Oh, let's hug.
Or you know,
Because
just
what am I really mad
or
about,
just
brother?
or maybe just listen.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
maybe just listen to
Yeah.
somebody and
Yeah.
I call it active listening, but just listen to somebody.
Because I will say this, your drops now get me to the point where when someone's talking, I now fall back and I say, tell me more.
Yes.
Tell me more about what
Yes.
this is.
Yeah.
You know?
Tell me why you feel that way or why you say that.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Remain curious. Stay in that curious
Yes.
zone a little bit longer.
because you have to. I mean,
Yeah.
because you know, there's going to have to be compromise.
Mhm.
There's going to have to be
Right.
some resolution, some
Yeah.
conflict
Oh, so I
resolution.
asked it wrong. L. Smith 18. Tell me more.
Well,
come back.
Well, because you got to understand it.
Come back.
Come back.
Tell
Yeah.
me more.
Yeah, right. It kicked in. L. Smith 18. Come back. I'm
Tell me
sorry.
more.
I asked my question aggressively, like he said earlier, because I wanted somebody to feel me. But now I'm open. I'm here.
Tell me more.
Let's discuss. Tell me more.
Because neither one of you are going to be able to move.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You're stuck.
Yeah.
No.
Whether you like it or not.
Right.
Whether you're talking about your relationship, whether you're
Mhm.
talking about politics,
Mhm.
you're stuck.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to put hands on you no more.
Shut up.
I just want to understand.
And that's going to be so important
Yeah.
for our conversation in 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
It's going to be because I keep telling y'all, you keep wanting to change people's certain mindsets and you can't. So you just got to leave people right there and just say, okay.
Well, you know, sometimes you got to meet people where they are.
Mhm.
It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be there,
Mhm.
but you know, you're meeting them where they are.
Yeah.
You know,
I love
James
y'all.
elevates. You know, I just say meet them where they are, and you can at least listen.
I always say, even now, you don't have to meet them. You just have to accept where they are, even if you're at two different locations.
And is.
Yeah, because a lot of times we are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we are. I think the election told you
See?
that.
Yeah.
Y'all need to put them on y'all team like they on my team. Because I promise you, I got that twitch and that eye to be shaking. I'm like, James, I need you, my brother. Monday, you good? Like,
And I guess I will eventually break down once I get some health care. Because right now my health care fucking sucks. Shane's gonna be like, girl, fuck you. You can't afford me.
It works out now.
I know. Bless his heart.
You got a credit card, girl? Okay.
Slide up these skills.
Because my
Reduce rate.
insurance is terrible.
but no, I do appreciate y'all. And I appreciate this. I can't wait till we do this again.
Yes.
But make sure you let the people know how to get in contact with yourself. And then we're going to give Auntie V's website and all that stuff. So how do we get in contact if we need? Stop borrowing my therapy, people. Go ahead and make it. Yeah. And make an appointment. How do we make an appointment?
JamesPerkins.help or James Perkins Inspires
So,
on Instagram.
so what did he tell you in your last session? What was the book?
What was
Bro,
the homework?
the book you gave me, Chiquita, give me my book back. I was like, no, where did my book book go? She said, can we write in this? I said, no, we didn't give it. Give me my damn book. Let me know when you're done.
Yeah.
Took the damn book out.
January 1st is a long time.
Y'all gonna have him
Extended
doing
library,
group
you
sessions. He's gonna be doing group sessions. Yeah, he's gonna be doing group sessions.
And
here in a
Auntie
minute.
V, go ahead and give all your information.
Yeah, thehealingconsultant.com. Y'all know the drill.
Drops about
follow.
one.
Yes,
Get your
remember
drops.
Mm-hmm.
holiday special.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then-
For those weekends and for those family gatherings coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and drop it in before you even walk in the door.
And it mixes with alcohol.
I just did it.
I would be worried more about the alcohol use.
Just did
than I
it.
would that. Let's drink responsibly,
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
All
So
right.
God willing, we'll be here tomorrow.
Mhm.
Everybody just, like they said, take a day if you need it. And if not, don't be
Come
like
laugh
me.
with us.
Yeah, don't be like
Take
me.
two.
Go home, take two. What is tomorrow? Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Take
Yeah.
two and go into the weekend nice and easy. Who's this?
Can I buy in person? Yeah.
You'll
We
be here.
gonna ask
She'll
for
be
it.
here this week. So
Mhm.
yeah, we'll get you right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. TDS Radio, our voice, our culture. Peace.
Bye.